Hey, what's up guys? I want to make you a quick video here to just help out if you're looking for a Daiwa Tatula reel. You're probably going to run across these three. So we've got the $149 Daiwa Tatula X, the 100 TW, $200 Daiwa 100, and then we've got the SV. Those are going to sell for around $240, $250. Now, those are the two newest models. This one's a 2020, so keep that in mind when I'm talking, guys. What should you buy? Well, if you look on Daiwa's website, let's say if you compare the X, the 100, the SV, some of the things you're going to see, if you go with this one, you've got 5 bearings plus 1, 7 plus 1, and 7 plus 1 on the newer models. So you get 2 extra bearings on the 100 or the newer SVs. Outside of that, guys, there, in my opinion, not a ton of difference between these two. The SV is kind of a different category. So if you're looking between these, I've casted them both. This one, the X model, I've cast with fluorocarbon and also with braid. This one I've only casted with fluorocarbon. Cast capability between these, when we're talking about backlash, casting into the wind, short little cast where you have a much higher probability of overrun because it doesn't really get that spool moving to engage the brake. So there's those little short pitches and things. These both handle about the same. I'm not noticing any difference. I'm also not noticing a great deal of difference in smoothness in terms of reeling, casting, anything like that. Now, this $200 one, the frame, you can see it's a slightly different color. I think it palms a little smaller than this X version as well, so there is a little bit of a difference. And it does have, I think it's the frame, it does have a little bit of a more premium feel to me. If you pick up both reels, this one does look and feel more expensive. It just feels a little nicer. But in terms of actual function, I'm not seeing much difference. They did a great job with this $150 model. They both have the hyperdrive, which is a combination of gear support, or I'm sorry, I think it's the pinion support, and as well as some type of housing in there that they have that's supposed to keep things together better. They both have the zero adjust, which we can talk about that here as well. And the spools are quite comparable. So not a whole lot of difference between those. I personally would recommend, I'd go and feel which one you think you like the feel of in hand better and the looks of, and I'd probably go with that. I don't think you're gonna get much more for that extra 50, to be honest with you guys. Now, the SV, again, this is a 2020, it's not a new model, but I can give you some ideas on this still. The SV is a different category, guys. That stress-free versatile spool is what they call that. The biggest difference I noticed between these, even with my old 2020 that's been cast thousands of times, wind and short distance. So if you're out there, this thing, I've cast this thing into 25-mile-an-hour winds before, straight into it. I normally run it on setting 10, kind of 9, right in there. Horrible winds, I might crank it up to 13 or 14, and this thing, it handles it. These guys are much more temperamental. So if you're casting straight into wind, or what'll really get you if you're not careful, if you don't thumb that spool and kind of temper it, those short distance, little cast, little pitch, very, very much easier to get some overrun versus the SV. So if you're wanting something like that, where you do a lot of those short distance cast, you go fishing in wind a lot, I would pay, I'd pay the extra $100 over this one. I'm sorry, over that base model, or the extra 50 over this one. I would go with the SV, guys. That's my opinion on it. So all three of them are good reels. Like I said, I don't have the newest model SV. That's a 2020. I've got I think that's a 2017 model SV as well. That's a 7.3 gear, and that's a 6.3. So I've got a medium speed and a slower one. But yeah, I don't see a whole lot of difference between those two base models, honestly, guys, other than that one feeling slightly a little bit more premium, a little bit different look to it. I don't think you're gaining much in terms of backlash control, cast distance, none of that stuff. So my recommendation, see which one you like. If you like them both physically in hand as much, I'd probably get the $150 one, guys. It's a very smooth, nice little reel. But if you want something that'll really outperform them both, casting into wind, short distance cast, I'd highly recommend that you jump up to the SV. In terms of specifications, like I said, there's not a whole lot of difference on the website. You get a couple of extra bearings in the 100 and in the SV. It's the 7+1 on the newer ones versus 5+1. yeah, it's not a great deal of difference, but a lot of the technology, the newer model SVs, they also have the hyperdrive, the zero adjust, which this 2020 has on it as well. Let me talk to you real quick about that zero adjustment knob. I have another video on this, but that basically they set it from the factory to what they consider like an optimal spool tension. So you don't really have to adjust it a lot, but you can. If you get yours and something isn't quite feeling right, you can move that. It's not the end of the world. So just kind of keep that in mind. What it really more means, guys, once you kind of get it dialed into what your reel likes, and I would actually, out of the box, I would leave it try it at what the factory put. I've actually never moved this 2020 model and it works great. These two, I play with them a little bit to get them closer to what I like, but it's more or less, honestly, once you get it kind of dialed into your specific reel, the type of line, you don't have to move that spool tension around a lot between lure swaps. You're mainly going to use the external magnetic braking dial, the MagForce Z dial, they call it. So that's really more what that means, guys. In my opinion, it doesn't mean you never have to change the spool tension ever. It's just you really don't have to when you're out there swapping between lures once you kind of get it dialed into your reel. But anyways, I hope that helps you guys out. So again, we've got the Tatula X TW100, the Tatula 100, and the Tatula SV. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in this video comment and I will do my best to answer. Hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Take care.